She said, of course. No, I think, as I said since the beginning, this is a very complex question to discuss, right? It's not a black or white answer, right? I think none of the arguments stand strong, but there is, I think, there is a well-known uh, principle into becoming entrepreneur or becoming an employee, and the reward based on those different decisions, right? So maybe we will discuss about that later, a little bit later. But let's continue with the standard question first, because I think, for example, you are talking about. You remember in the beginning of the discussion, you said that you like a lot of money, right? So when you say billion, like, did you ever compute, like, if you are an employee, how many year it will take you to work before you get to a billion, even if it's France CFA? Do you know? You know? Okay. For example, let's say like a billion is 1,000 million, right? Okay. So let's say you live in Mali. We know that the people that are really, really well paid in Mali get $10 million per year. Or do you think it's more than that? Okay, $10 million per year. Okay, this is 1 year you get $10 million. Okay, in 10 years you get how much? 100 million, right? So you need to work like 100 years to get a billion francs CFA. I'm saying francs CFA. So you need to work like up to 100 years. We know that nobody can work like up to 100 years. This is first point. The second point, you will never be able to also save all those like a million up to the billion, and I, you will spend all of them. All right, I know that everyone like spend more than 50% of its earning. If you get 1 million, like $10 million per year, we all know that you spend more than 5 million per year. It's normal. This is how things work. Okay, so you would never be able to get like a billion in your account being an employee. There is some special cases it can happen. And one of also the other special cases that happen mostly in Mali is that people steal money. They do embezzlement, right? They steal the money of the company or the government. This is one way, but I know this is not normal way. Okay. But let's put simply, if you are an entrepreneur, maybe you need 20 years work with a good idea and a good execution to get to a billion. I would not say it's easy, but it's doable. You can do it in 20 years. So, right, you got to look at the data. Don't just focus on how much happy. Maybe after that 20 years, you get to 40 or 50 years, you can start to be happy. But if you are employee, let's say, okay, you work up to 60 years, you get retired, and you are no longer getting the same money. Your kids are growing up, you are getting more responsibility and less money, and you are also maybe sick or you are unable to do other works. Now the problem will come from everywhere, but you no longer have a lot of money. So that's where the stress will start for you. The entrepreneur, he face his stress early in his life, and maybe if he's lucky, or I don't know if he's successful enough, he will be happy like after, like at the end of his life, most of the time. But an employee, maybe you think that in the beginning you are happy, but at the end of the life, your life, like, I mean, the fire is waiting for you, hell is waiting for you. All the stress, all the big issue of the life. We all know that. We are all surrounded by all sort of people that are going through that, right? So I think it's not a very simple question to answer. So saying that, I think also one of the biggest source of happiness is really from responsibility. So if you try to compare employee happiness and entrepreneur happiness, you will find that the entrepreneur are much happier than the employee. 100%. S- yes, I can. We can talk about that if you really want to. You don't think so? Let me give you let me give you a very simple example. Okay, can you tell me when did you really feel like you are really happy or like you are really alive doing something important? Would you like to give me one example of that? When you are coding, just coding, and you feel like you are alive and very happy? No, not necessarily working, but let's say you did something personally, okay, and after doing that thing, maybe seeing the result or seeing the impact, you feel like, oh, my life is very important now, or I'm really changing, or I'm growing, or I don't know, I'm smart now, or I'm efficient, or something that make you feel like, oh, I'm very happy now. Oh, this is what I like to do. Oh, this is very good, something like that. How many times this happened to you? Okay, give us one or some example, and I will identify if it was based on entrepreneurship or based on, I don't know, employee type of thing. Hmm. Okay, okay, great. Okay, good. So you know what is that? This we call that two things. The first we can say adventure. Okay, this is adventure. You were doing something you never did before, and you didn't know that you could do it. And when you are able to do it, you feel like, oh, I'm really great, right? The second is responsibility. You take on responsibility. You face your fear. You know that there is risk. You can fail to do it, but you face the risk and you did it and it worked. Okay. So when you look at all these are traits or characteristics of entrepreneurship. But when you go to like employee part, basically the goal will be to avoid adventure and to avoid risk and responsibility. But most of the time, happiness comes from adventure, risk, and responsibility. Most people forget about that. Happiness doesn't come from like sitting, like going to beach, right, or just going to restaurant. Most of the time, real happiness comes from taking responsibility or doing an adventure or facing something really difficult. Okay, let me give you a mind-blowing idea. At the end of the day, we will all lose everything we have, even ourselves. Yes, Mr. Keita.